Jana Duggar and Stephen's court case, the fallout of a family dispute. When the news broke that Jana Duggar and her husband Stephen had entered into a court battle, it sent shockwaves through a family long accustomed to public scrutiny, but rarely prepared for such an intimate and painful dispute becoming front-page news. For years, Jana had been seen as one of the Duggar daughters who carried herself with quiet dignity, the dependable sister who sacrificed her own opportunities to care for younger siblings, the woman fans often admired as the unsung heart of the household. Her marriage to Stephen had seemed like the fulfillment of long-awaited hopes, the moment where Jana would finally have the family of her own she so patiently waited for. Yet the revelation that she and her husband were now facing each other in a courtroom has recast her story in dramatic terms, highlighting fractures within their marriage and exposing divisions within the Duggar clan itself. This court case has become more than a private disagreement. It is a public spectacle that has left family, friends, and fans divided while Jana, pregnant and exhausted, struggles to hold on to her strength. At its core, the case began as a family dispute that spiraled out of control. Those close to Jana and Stephen say that arguments over finances, property, and obligations toward the Duggar family set the stage for legal action. What might have been resolved privately between husband and wife eventually turned into formal legal filings, a step that stunned those who believed the couple was united in faith and commitment. For Jana, the timing could not be more devastating. She is expecting a child, carrying the physical and emotional weight of pregnancy, even as she prepares to defend herself against claims brought by the man she once believed would protect her from the storms of life. Instead, Stephen's decision to move forward with the case has placed her directly in the storm's path. The courtroom proceedings themselves have been grueling. Lawyers on both sides have presented their arguments, digging into the details of Jana and Stephen's financial arrangements, their disagreements over decision-making, and even their roles within the broader Duggar family dynamic. Each new hearing seems to add another layer of tension, with whispered accusations and sharp counterarguments spilling into the public domain. For a woman who had built her reputation on discretion and modesty, being forced to sit in a courtroom while her private life is dissected is nothing short of humiliating. Those who have seen her describe her as pale, tired, and emotionally strained, often reaching for quiet moments of prayer before and after each session. Stephen, once admired as a steady and supportive partner, has seen his image change dramatically in light of the court battle. To some, he is viewed as a man unfairly painted as the villain, taking legal action only because he believes it is the only way to resolve deep disputes. To others, he is seen as someone who betrayed his wife in the most painful way possible, dragging her through the courts when she is most vulnerable. His quiet demeanor, once seen as a mark of humility, now raises suspicion, with many wondering what truly motivated his decision to sue his own wife. The courtroom has become the stage for these conflicting narratives, each side presenting a version of the truth that leaves observers grasping for answers. The Duggar family's involvement has only complicated matters further. Michelle Duggar has reportedly been steadfast in her support of Jana, sitting by her side during court appearances and offering prayers of encouragement. Jim Bob, however, has been more cautious, worried about how the proceedings reflect on the family's already fragile public image. Insiders suggest that he has clashed with Jana over her refusal to quietly settle the case, believing that dragging it out will only cause further damage. This difference in perspective between father and daughter has fueled speculation of deeper rifts within the family, rifts that the court case has only widened. Jana's siblings have been forced to choose sides, and the fallout has been painful. Jill and Jinger, both of whom have distanced themselves from the Duggar family's strict traditions, have openly supported Jana, encouraging her to prioritize her well-being and that of her unborn child. They have expressed frustration that Stephen would take legal action during such a vulnerable time, and their support for Jana has been unwavering. Jessa has tried to remain neutral, reaching out to both Stephen and Jana in hopes of finding some middle ground, though privately she admits to fearing the damage may already be done. Joanna, once close to Stephen, has struggled to reconcile her loyalty to her sister with her respect for her brother-in-law, leaving her caught in a painful middle ground. The younger siblings, too young to grasp the legal complexities, have been left confused, sensing only that something is deeply wrong in the family that once seemed unshakable. The public reaction has been intense. Fans who once celebrated Jana's long-awaited marriage now find themselves heartbroken, rallying around her with messages of support on social media. Many have described her as a woman who deserves peace after years of sacrifice, outraged that she is instead enduring legal battles during pregnancy. Some have called on Stephen to withdraw the case, arguing that his decision shows a lack of compassion and understanding. Others, however, have urged caution, pointing out that no one outside the courtroom knows the full story, and suggesting that both Jana and Stephen may have made mistakes that led them here. The polarized discussion has turned online forums into battlegrounds of opinion, echoing the divisions playing out within the family itself. Meanwhile, the stress of the case has weighed heavily on Jana's pregnancy. Doctors have reportedly expressed concern about the toll the proceedings are taking on her health, urging her to rest and avoid unnecessary stress. Friends who have been with her say she is doing her best to follow medical advice, but the demands of court appearances and the emotional strain of facing Stephen across a courtroom make it nearly impossible. Each day is a balance between protecting her unborn child and defending herself against claims that could shape her future. Her resilience has impressed those close to her, but they also worry about how much more she can endure before her body and spirit reach their limits. The court case has also drawn renewed media attention to the Duggar family as a whole, dredging up past scandals and controversies. Commentators have noted that the family, once held up as a model of faith and unity, has faced repeated challenges that have shattered that image. Jana's dispute with Stephen is seen as yet another crack in the facade, a reminder that the Duggar story is as much about struggle and dysfunction as it is about faith and togetherness. Each new headline seems to add weight to the family's burden, leaving them scrambling to maintain control of a narrative that has long since slipped beyond their grasp. For Jana, the most painful part of the ordeal may be the sense of betrayal. Those who know her best say she has always been loyal, often putting others before herself, and that she entered marriage with a heart full of hope and commitment. To now find herself in a courtroom battle with her husband, at a time when she should be preparing to welcome new life, feels like a cruel twist of fate. Yet even in her darkest moments, Jana is said to cling to faith, whispering prayers for strength, guidance, and even for Stephen. Her ability to hold on to compassion in the face of such difficulty has inspired many who see her as a symbol of resilience and grace. As the case continues, the outcome remains uncertain. Will the court rule in Jana's favor, or will Stephen's claims prevail? Will the couple find a path back to reconciliation, or has the damage already gone too deep? And what will the fallout mean for the Duggar family, already fractured by years of public scandals and private tensions? These questions hang heavily over the proceedings, leaving fans and family alike bracing for answers that may change the course of Jana's life forever. The story of Jana Duggar and Stephen's court case is no longer just about legal filings and courtroom arguments. It is about the human cost of conflict, the fragility of relationships, and the endurance of faith in the face of overwhelming trials. For Jana, the road ahead is uncertain, but her determination to fight for herself, her child, and her future has already left an indelible mark. As the world watches, one thing remains clear: this is a defining chapter not just for Jana and Stephen, but for the Duggar family itself, a chapter that will be remembered long after the courtroom doors close. Thanks for watching.